Welcome back to Low Stress Math with Mrs. Bono. This is lesson 2 in the chapter 3 equations packet. So we are going to learn how to write equations using some vocabulary and solve them. So lesson 2, writing equations. Now, in the beginning of the year, we did a packet that was recall prior knowledge. And on page 12 of that packet, I gave you a bunch of different key words, and I told you to put them in boxes. And those key words were here. And there were words for addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and equals. So I had all these words down here, and we put them up there. Now, I want you to go back, find your packet, recall prior knowledge, it was the green packet, and I'd like you to take your words and put them here. Because we need that same knowledge, our knowledge of math, and we're going to fill in as many vocabulary words as we can. So we had a lot of words for math. Well, obviously addition and add and sum and plus and increase and combine and all together. More, gain, perimeter. Remember, perimeter was to add all the sides. Ascend, increase. I have that already. I have to think of some more words. Well, the symbol for addition, there's really just the one. It's a big plus sign. Now, subtraction, let's do some subtraction here. There was, of course, subtract. Minus. That looks like menus. It's supposed to be minus, M-I-N-U-S, Bono. Silly, silly me, sorry. Minus. Less. Difference. Decrease. Deduct. Take away. Decrease, deduct, take away. Loss. Withdraw, well, lower. Withdraw. I think that's, oh, and descend. Keep going down. Now, T-E-S-C-E-N-D. I am having a spelling day today. T-E-S-C-E-N-D. Subtraction only has the one symbol. All right, multiplication is multiply, product, by, times, lots of, all right, so multiplication. Multiply. Product. The word by, but also the word of. I should put like quotes around that, by and of. You'll see later what I'm talking about. Times, just times. And yeah, you'll see. And multiplication has a lot of symbols. There's the X, we don't use that. There's the big dot, I like that one. And there's parentheses. And on a calculator, sometimes it comes out as a star, or on a computer. So those are all the different symbols for multiplying. Let's do some division. And division has words like divide, of course, quotient, goes into, how many times, which sounds like it should be multiplication, right? But it's not. How many times? Divided by. Remainder, half. Half is one of my favorites. Remainder, remain. I'll get some of that. And some symbols for division. Well, there's obviously the old standby dot over dot. Then there's, of course, the one we're going to use the most, which is numerator over denominator. But there's also, when you do denominator and that old one into the numerator. So those are all different ways to write division. And equals, there's a bunch of ways to write equals too. So we're just going to put a big old equal sign in there. And I want to use a different color. Do I have a pretty color? Yeah, I'll use pink. Pink is awesome. Equals. And that would be is, was, the same, equivalent, and I think that's enough words for equal for right now. Let's go on to the next page. So those are some of the words we're going to be using when we translate our problems from English to math. So let's try it. First, you have to create what's called a let statement, and that's to let the person know what the variable is in your problem. Then you translate the equation using the variable, and then you solve it and you check it. See, it's not so bad. So, here we go. Keyword. Less than and is. So 3 less than a number is 13. Let's find a variable. I always use x, it's my fallback variable, but you could use n for number or, b for Bono, but in this case, it makes sense to use n because it says a number, but I'm going to use x anyhow. So, start with the let statement. Let x equal a number. 3 less than a number. Well, if you can't remember what order to put it in, let's think for a second. 5 less than 10. Well, 5 less than 10 is 5. 4 less than 9. That's 5 too. So the larger number goes first. X minus 3 equals 13. Less than, I'm going to write at the end. That means you put whatever's in the front of less than at the end. So after the x. All right, now I have to solve that. Well, the inverse of subtract 3 is to add 3, and you do it to both sides of the equal sign. And let's see, negative 3 plus 3, 0. X equals 16. Oh, there's my answer. Put a frame around it because it's beautiful. And now I'm going to come over here, and I am going to go back to that original equation to check it. X minus 3 equals 13. And now I'm going to fill in my answer for x. X equals 16, 16. Minus 3 equals 13. Well, that's true. 16 minus, oh, I didn't even show it to you. 16 minus 3 is 13. That's equal to 13. So it checks. My check checks. For the next one, it says a number increased by 3 is negative 19. Excuse me. Allergies. Ugh. A number increased by 3 is 19. So let x equal a number and you always have to write a let statement. I know you don't always want to write a let statement, but you always have to write a let statement. And then increased by. Well, from my list of words, you know, I'm keeping this right by me, right? Increased by is an addition word. So a number x increased by is increased by 3 is negative 19. Okay. I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. Oh, I didn't write it in red, sorry. 3 minus 3 is 0, so x is alone. Negative 19 minus 3 is negative 22. Be careful. Be very, very careful. All right. So I have to go back and rewrite my problem for my check. I always write check just so that people who are looking at my work know the difference between the equation that I solved and the check to make sure it was right. So always write the word check. X plus 3 equals negative 19. And I fill in negative 22 for x plus 3 equals negative 19. And if I put that in a calculator, guess what? Negative 19 equals negative 19, and it checks. Yay! Okay. The product of negative 9 and a number is negative 45. Okay, product tells you what? Well, product means multiply. And is my equal sign. So let n equal a number, let x equal a number, whatever, but you have to write it down. Let x equal a number. Product of negative 9 and a number. Product, negative 9 times x is negative 45. Okay. Now, to get my answer. The opposite of multiplying by negative 9 is dividing by negative 9. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 9. Negative 9 divided by negative 9 is 1. 1 times x is x. Negative 45 divided by negative 9 is positive 5. Signs are the same. The answer is positive. Put a little. I did not box this guy. What's wrong with me today? I don't know. So now to check it, I have to go back and rewrite my problem. Negative 9 times x equals negative 45. Negative 9, and the x, I'm going to put in parentheses because I'm multiplying. To show that I'm multiplying by 5, I put it in parentheses. Equals negative 45. Negative 9 times positive is negative 45 equals negative 45, and it checks. Yay! All right, 1/5 of a number is 15. Okay, let's do that. First, need a let statement. Well, that word of, we talked about of. Of means multiply, so I'm going to multiply 1/5 times the number to get 15. But first, I have to start with let x equal a number, and then I'm going to write it. 1/5 of x is 15. Okay, the opposite of multiplying by 1/5 is dividing by 1/5. But remember back in like 6th grade where they told you that if you're dividing, you're multiplying it by the opposite? So I am just going to flip this over and multiply by 5 over 1. And this side just by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. Well, 5 over 1 times 1 over 5 is 1. I'm just going to show you that on here so that you can see it. Here's my calculator. If I have 5 over 1 times 1 over 5, 5 over 1 times 1 over 5, that's 1. And 1 times x is x. All right. Now I got my x by itself. And 5 times 15 is 75. Put a little box around it. Boop, boop, boop. And check it over here, really sort of get that out of the way. Check. 1/5 of 75 is 15. And now, again, I'm going to grab that calculator just to make sure I did it right. 1/5, right, times 75 is 15. Look at that, genius. So 15 equals 15, and it checks. Now, it says down here, you try. And you know what that means, right? Turn off the video and you try those 4 problems. All right. I'm not going to go over this right now because there's a whole bunch of independent practice on the next page. So what I want to do is go over this in the next video, and then you try the independent practice, and then we'll go over that. So have a great day, and try those 4 problems. Take care.